you want me to close the door?
No, it's all right. You can go.
Oh, okay. So my first question to you. Okay, because every noise you make me pick up, right? That's why I was asking about the door closed. Okay. So, Danielle, just be yourself.
Yeah, with all these lights and cameras, I tell you.
So, describe the current environment in which school nurses are now working.
Currently in the school system, school nurses are the gatekeepers to the health of our students. And often, many people don't realize that school nurses are the entry to that health system for a lot of our students in various communities that they're serving. So students will present with issues as belly aches, anxiety, or just frequent visits to the school health office. And many will not know why, but the nurse is the one that has the skills to assess and figure out what's the best strategy to help the student intervene and get them back to class.
What has been the response to mental health first aid training among your colleagues?
Well, we've trained at New Jersey Collaborating Center for Nursing. We've trained just about 200 school nurses and others with the help of the Mental Health Association. And the results of that have been continual, and the nurses are very excited, and their colleagues in the schools are very excited to receive the training because they need to have the assessment tools to be able to better assist and help students as they come to the offices presenting with various anxiety, usually driven issues.
What are some of the things that you have heard them say?
Yes, so they're excited to be able to go back to the tools and look at the 5 tools and the 5 assessment strategies that they learned. They say that when the students come into their office, they can identify them as they're walking in, that this is going to be an intervention or crisis that I would have to deal with. So they start to figure out what should I do first, second, and third to make sure that they can better assist the student and make sure that the right programs and services can be in place for them. And again, to get them back. The goal is to get them back into the classroom. And they'll be able to do that with the training that they receive with mental health first aid.
Why do you think school nurses and anyone else working closely with children and teens should receive mental health first aid training?
Well, mental health first aid training is so important because we know that school nurses are required to receive BLS training, basic life support training, and we would hope that they would not have to use that on a daily basis. We do not want our school nurses intervening and resuscitating and reviving students all throughout the day, but we do know with mental health first aid, they are utilizing this strategy every day. Several times a day in their health offices, and they are the healthcare professional in that building, and they are making sure that they get our students to a place that they can intervene and assist them with whatever steps that they need in regarding to mental health or substance abuse. So they are dealing with it on any and every level. Many people thought that high school was the time that nurses may need this, but we know we're seeing it now in the elementary school, we're seeing it earlier and throughout the process. So if we can think about prevention strategies, mental health first aid will give them that strategy that they need to prevent any episodes in the future.
Hey, don't move.
Don't move.
I have one question. Ruth, the mental health first aid, not
I thought
mental
that was very good. I was like,
It's
wow.
excellent, but we didn't mention Mental Health Association. So how do
She did say it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I said in the collaboration with the mental health. Oh, I didn't say.
I'm ready. You ready?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. First question. Describe the current environment in which school nurses now work.
Currently in New Jersey, school nurses are working in an environment where they are the gatekeepers to the healthcare system, often for their students. Many students will come to their offices presenting with belly aches, presenting with anxiety, and other things that we know as professionals that it's usually a sign or a symptom of something else happening. So when they come to the office, the best thing is for them to have the tools and strategies that they need to be able to better assist and assess the student at that time.
Can you describe wrong question. Sorry, wrong question. What has been the response to mental health first aid training among your colleagues?
The school nurses in New Jersey have been so excited to have the opportunity to receive training, the mental health first aid training. And what we've done is we've worked closely and collaborated with the New Jersey Nope, that's not who we collaborated with. Mental Health, New Jersey Hospital. So no, Mental Health Association, New Jersey. Okay, so I start from the beginning, right? The response to the mental health mental health. Okay, here we go. There's the bloopers. Take 3.
If you're going to do it again, just take a second, all right? And then go into it.
Okay. So you'll ask the question again.
Okay. What has been the response to the mental health first aid training among your colleagues?
In New Jersey, the school nurses have been very excited to have the opportunity to receive mental health first aid training. At the New Jersey Collaborating Center, we've trained almost 200 school nurses and others on mental health first aid with the help of the Mental Health Association in New Jersey. The school nurses have signed up for these trainings. They are looking forward to getting the skills and the tools that they need. And what they've gathered the most is that the 5 steps that they learned in terms of action plan has been very beneficial for them. So as students come into their office, and they're dealing with so many things in the office on a day-to-day, what they've found is that when they have these skills and these tools that they need in place, they can best assess the student quickly and effectively. And they're very happy to be able to do that because they're faced with these challenges every day when it comes to mental health and substance use, and they're seeing it earlier and earlier. So they're very happy to have this this unique training.
1 minute.
I have a question, Markian. Okay. So while I'm here looking at.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Why do you think school nurses and anyone else working closely with children should have the mental health first aid training?
Yes, it's so important for everyone that actually has a hand in the life of a youth to have this training because as we know, school nurses are to receive basic life support training. We know that we want them to be able to resuscitate and revive individuals as needed, but we do hope they're not doing that in their health office suite day to day. But we know for a fact that what they are doing is they are addressing the mental health and substance use crises and issues that come up with our students, again, from elementary school all throughout high school. And if they do not have the skills and the training that the Mental Health Association in New Jersey offers, they will be at a disadvantage and our students will not get what they should get at that intervention point.
Perfect.
Ruth, any question you want me to add?
I think it's pretty clear.
Okay.
What do you think, Danielle? Is there something you wanted to say that you didn't get the opportunity?
So for number 1, describe the current environment in which school nurses now work.
So school nurses are the gatekeepers in our school communities, and they are the entry point to healthcare system for our families and our students. And they need to have the tools in place so that they can be able to help with the preventative strategies to increase or decrease. Oh, let's do that again. I don't want them to decrease the outcomes. Let's start again. Yeah. So he said pause. Now go, right? School nurses are the entry point and the gatekeepers in our communities for our students, and they should have the tools that they need to make sure that they are able to better assess our students in terms of crisis. So we don't want to wait till a crisis to help students. We should have a plan in place, and that's what is offered with the mental health first aid training, is a plan of action so that when these situations come up, they can actually intervene early to prevent a negative outcome in the future.
Last one. Why do you think school nurses and anyone else working closely with students should have this
Do
training?
the full answer or just the bottom
Do the full
part? The full.
answer.
Oh boy, what did I say? I said
Okay.
some good. I don't want to cut
Okay.
out. Can I
Alright.
just do the last piece? Because I
Okay,
said
the
something
last
good. I just want to add
Okay.
to it.
All right, just add to it.
What was the add to? Yes. Okay. School nurses should actually have the opportunity to have mental health first aid training as a requirement opposed to an option. It's nice to have the option, and many of our nurses in New Jersey are taking advantage of that option, but it would be so nice to see that they have it as a requirement and it's looked at as being equally important as basic life support training. And that's it.
You did it, ma'am.
Did it.